And the first song that I usually get to people, this is call and response. And a call is basically a question. So how are you is the question number 5. And the answer is a kaiuta. Kaiuta in Japanese means it's a stolen tune. We borrow a tune and we just put new words to it. So this kaiuta is actually supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. And the question is, how are you? And I teach my students, I get them to write it down first as a speed dictation in classes. And they have to write super happy, optimistic, joyful, and prodigious. 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 And almost all around the world, everyone knows Mary Poppins, and they love this. But the word supercalifragilistic is never going to be heard out on the street. And so as English teachers abroad, we teach them more interesting words that they could place in there. And we actually change it. And so I might, if I teach that at the beginning of class, every 4 or 5 minutes, I might ask them, how are you? And if I ask Ali, I'd say, how are you, Ali? And Ali would answer, well, when you learn it, super, sing it with me, super happy, optimistic, joyful, and prodigious, super happy, optimistic, joyful, and prodigious. So
That's cool. That's good.
Okay, I'm going to be asking you in every 3 or 4 or 5 minutes to ask each other, how are you? Okay, and you can sing it actually together. Okay, and that's usually what my students do anyways. I always ask them, ask your partner, how are you? And that's a review almost every class. So
I do it to my grandkids.
So that's on the handout that we will be able to send you. It's a PDF, and we'll send it to you. You can get it from Ali and Gosea or me. Gosha, sorry, Gosha.
Yeah.
And we can mail these to you. So they're very, very simple. The number 1 on the list is, the question is, why do you smile? And that's a Japanese saying, and it goes like this. We sing it in Japanese first, and then we go into English. Wa ukado ni wa fuku kitaru. Smiling brings you happiness. Let it show the way. For a teacher in a classroom, just to pause between activities and ask students to ask each other, why do you smile? Ask each other, go ahead, ask your partner. And it just gives them something to think about. Maybe I should smile, maybe I am smiling. And it's nice to see people's smiles. And I also explain in my advanced classes that actually when you move these muscles in your cheeks, it sends a message to your brain. And your brain releases endorphins all the way through your body, which kill pain and actually make you happier. So it's really a positive thing to get going on. The second one on the list is, the question is, what is asking? And asking, the Japanese kotowaza is kiku wa itoki no haji, kikano wa isho no haji. And I translated that into English as asking may be a moment's embarrassment, and not asking is a lifelong regret. And I sing it to them with a gesture that is a little bit risque, and I'll do it for you. Asking may be a moment's embarrassment, not asking is a lifelong regret. So it's nice to use gestures with it. And I get students to tell embarrassment stories to each other also in class so they understand the word embarrassment. And it's really, really interesting because it helps them to bond. They say that vulnerability, if you show other people your vulnerability, then you actually bond better and appreciate each other. So I tell them an embarrassment story about when I was 10 years old and they brought a trampoline for the first time to my school and we all got to jump on it. And when I got on it, I jumped on it and fell back on my back and I ripped my jeans in the back. And I almost had a bare ass if I didn't have underwear on. But I was very, very embarrassed because because all of the children were around me, all my friends. And so then I get them to tell embarrassment stories, and it really helps people to bond when you do that. We also tell regret stories, and my regret story typically for my students is when I was 13 or 14, I think, in high school, junior high school, and I was taking my first biology course, or no, it was a chemistry course. I'm sorry, and we had to go into this laboratory, and it smelled of chemicals all the time. But there was this girl who came in, and she sat in front of me, and she had coconut shampoo. I could still smell it. It was amazing. And I wanted to ask her out for a drink. And I couldn't get up my courage. And I told my brother one day, and he said, today you do it, today you do it. And so I said, okay, today I'm gonna do it. And I went in and she wasn't there. She had moved away. And her father had gotten a job in another town. And that's my lifelong regret, that I never got to ask her out for a drink or a Coca-Cola or something. And some of my students start crying when I say this. Actually, it's a cute story. But anyways, I get them to tell regret stories too. And it's nice. It's really fun. So you can hook in some bilingual songlets or songlets and put them into storytelling and all kinds of activities if you want to. So number 3, how do you change the world? I need to do a screen share, I think, if I can. Or let's see, where is it? It's open somewhere. Chotto matte. I've got too many things open here.
Those are great.
Thank you, thank you. While and also, could you ask each other right now, how are you, and sing the song while I'm hunting, please?
Wait.
How are you? That's number 5. Number 5.
Optimistic, joyful, and prodigious. How are you? I already did mine.
How are you?
This is super happy, optimistic, joyful, and prodigious. We're very good. We nailed it.
You nailed it. Okay.
I need your embarrassing story.
You already said it. Oh, no, I don't have any embarrassing story. I was never embarrassed.
Oh yeah. Or how about jumping over that fence and get caught?
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, I see this. Yes, you were singing in this one, weren't you?
Yes. Here is how do you change the world? Okay, it's a little bit of a publicity for a conference that I was doing, but the song is there too, so you can sing it. You can hear it. Hello, my name is Tim Murphy, and I'll be coming to Busan, South Korea on May 26, 2012. And I'll be talking on agency, identity, and altruism. And I'd just like to sing you a little song about that. Be the change, be the change, be the change you wish to see in the world. I don't serve my dear world by pretending to be small. I'll stand tall, I will stand tall. When you change yourself, you change the world. When you change yourself, you change the world.
Okay. We saw that a while back. I mean, a few days ago.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, we could download it actually, so it'll be a better.
People can download it. Wonderful. Okay, super. How do I get back to my picture here?
There's a thing on the bottom. It says share screen. It was red. The button was
Ah,
red.
so I'm lost now.
Yeah. I did the same thing. I finally managed to put you back in full
Ah,
screen.
it's the one thing on the bottom. No,
It's
that's
share screen.
share.
There's a there's a red button that says share screen.
Yeah, and I should
But
click on it to stop it, right?
yeah, it will
Okay.
stop sharing the screen.
Um,
It was on the bottom left, I think. It was a. I think it comes up when you hover over it.
okay, I lost that screen. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh, it took us a good 10 minutes to find that one.
I've got too many screens. Could you please ask each other, how are you?
How are you?
Super joyful, funny, optimistic, and prodigious. I added funny.
Uh,
Super funny, optimistic.
Joyful
stop share.
and
Stop share. Got it. There we go. The
Are you
stop
on
share
a
is
Mac?
actually at the top.
Oh, are you on a Mac?
Yeah, okay. So
Okay.
we're good. Okay, so that was How Do You Change the World, which is Gandhi, a quote from Gandhi, as well as Michael Jackson. Yeah, The Man in the Mirror, basically
Right.
a song. So Gandhi said, yeah, what is it? To be the change you want to see in the world and to stand tall. Okay. And Michael Jackson was talking about changing the man in the mirror, of course, and changing the person you see, yourself, basically. And that's how we change. Okay. Number 4 is how do you succeed? Okay. And how do you succeed? I typically put up my hand like this so that students can count, because you have to say this word 8 different times. And it's a mushed phrase, do it again. So, okay, so do it again. So we don't say do it again, we say do it again. And we sing it to the tune of Santa Claus is Coming to Town. Do it again, 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 do it again. Make many mistakes and do it again. And in the Japanese, koto wazas, yariba dekiru naseba naru, yariba dekiru naseba naru, nana korobi ya oki.
Yeah, I speak Japanese.
Okay, so there's also this number 4. How do you succeed? That's the first one. But Santa Claus is Coming to Town is so easy to put new words to that we actually made 2 other songs. The B tune is How Do You Eat Well? Okay, and I did this at Weill Women's University Graduate School of Human Ecology, and the teachers there helped me make these 2 songs. And the graduate students when I was teaching them. And basically, they wanted a song for kids that would get them not just to eat one thing at lunchtime, but to have diversity like a Japanese bento has. And so they made gestures also. So it goes like this. And the question is, how do you eat well? And I would say to my students, ask your partners, how do you eat well? And they would sing to each other, take a little bit of this, take a little bit of that, take a little bit of this, take a little bit of that. Diversify and balance your life. Sing with me once.
Yes, our kids.
Sing with
Yeah.
me once. Try. Take and do the gestures. Gestures. Take a little bit of this. Take a little bit of that. Take a little bit of this. Take a little bit of that. Diversify and balance your life.
Teach our kids that.
Okay. And the C song on the handout there is how do you stay fit? How do you stay healthy? And for that, they figured out that if you put up your hand like this, it's like a platform, and you had a person who was actually walking or running, And then you could do it like this. Walk a little bit here, run a little bit there, walk a little bit here, run a little bit there, dare to take the stairs and be a bear. And the kids like growling like a bear. Okay, so that's the 3 uses of the Santa Claus is coming to town. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The next one is the super happy optimistic. How are you guys? How are
Super happy, optimistic, joyful, and prodigious.
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 Prodigious is a hard word. And I tell high school teachers they probably shouldn't use that word, and just to replace it with fantastic. So super happy, optimistic, joyful, and fantastic. Okay, prodigious means that you're really powerful and doing lots of things. Okay, prodigious. Yeah.
Sometimes kids like big words.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. The next one is the weather song. And you said that one of your great goals in life is to climb Mount Fuji, right? And,
Yes, me. He doesn't know it yet.
yeah, great. I was climbing Mount Fuji back in the 1990s with my university students from Nanzan University. And I had this song stuck in my head, okay? It was a stupid tune. It was the refrain of what was the song? The Witch Doctor. It was an old song, The Witch Doctor. The refrain goes ooh ee ooh ah ting tang wallow bing bang ooh ee, and that was really stupid, and it was driving me crazy. And so I said, okay, but wait a minute. If you have a tune stuck in your head, use it for something productive. And I was learning Japanese weather words. And so I put weather words to the tune, and I started singing Hari doki doki kumori ame doshaburi, Hari doki doki kumori ame doshaburi. And I started hiking much faster. And my students were saying, wait, why are you going so fast? And I said, I was singing. And it's easy when you're singing, you forget the pain and you keep going. And they said, well, teach it to us, teach it to us. And so I did in Japanese, but I changed it into English. And the English is, yeah, the weather song. And I do gestures with it now in classes and get my students to do the rain, okay? It's raining cats and dogs and it's cold outside, my sunshine is deep inside. It's raining cats and dogs and it's cold outside, my sunshine is deep inside. It's raining cats and dogs and it's cold outside, my sunshine is deep inside. Okay. And actually, you're probably familiar with the Tohoku disaster when there was the earthquake and the tsunami in Japan. And we lost a lot of people, and it was a really tragic thing. But a lot of students from my university actually went up to the area that was in worst hit, and they started teaching because the teachers were either they passed away or either busy with other things. And they started teaching students this song and trying to ask students positively, what is your sunshine deep inside? And it's kind of giving children hope and getting them to identify the hope. When I feel really bad in a bad situation, what is it that is going to give me hope? What is my sunshine deep inside? Okay, and this is a really, really nice song for that. And my students taught them this song up there. Okay, that was number 7. Okay, no, 6. Okay, 7, 5 ways to happiness. Actually, the way I start out with this, especially for small children, is I just do 5 gestures and I get them to tell me what the gestures are. So gesture number 1, please do them with me, watch me, and then do this. Gesture number 1. Okay. Gesture number 2. Gesture number 3. What is gesture number 3? Hold on. That's it. You have to.
Oh, point up.
Gesture number 3, yeah, good. And then gesture number 4 is, and gesture number 5 is, okay. And I get them to just guess what are these gestures and what do they mean. And of course, this is smile from ear to ear.
Smile.
Smile from ear to
Yeah.
ear. It's a very strange idiom in English that we have a smile going from an ear to an ear, but that's just a big smile. Okay. And breathe in deep and look up at the sky. We know that people who are happy, they tend to look up a lot more. People who are depressed tend to look down. Okay. The 4th one is sing a melody. And that's just typically they do in America when somebody sings la 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 la, sing a melody. And then, of course, that is dare to show your love. Dare to show your love. And so this is sung to the 12 days of Christmas. And so you know that song probably. And we'll just sing it real quick together. Join in with me. When you want to be happy, there's one thing you can do. Smile from ear to ear, and you do the gesture. When you want to be happy, there's 2 things you can do. Breathe in deep and smile from ear to ear. When you want to be happy, there's 3 things you can do. Look up at the sky, breathe in deep and smile from ear to ear. When you want to be happy, there's 4 things you can do. Sing a melody, look up at the sky, breathe in deep and smile from ear to ear. When you want to be happy, there's 5 things you can do. Dare to show your love. Sing a melody, look up at the sky, breathe in deep and smile from ear to ear. Yay!
Brilliant.
Great, 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 great. There's a longer lecture that I go on to tell them about why these things actually make you happy and everything else. Very similar to the smile. When you move those muscles in your face, it sends a message to your brain and so forth. All of these things are good for you and they're very positive. Actually, in class, I ask my students to do an experiment with me usually. And I ask them all to do 3 things at one time. Okay, to smile and to breathe deeply and to look up at the sky. And then I say, I'm going to ask you to do a 4th thing, and I'm going to see if you can do it with these 3 things. And so if you're doing smiling and you're breathing in deep, you have enough oxygen and you're looking up. And then the 4th thing I ask them to do is try and feel bad while you're doing these 3 things. And sometimes I have students who are very obedient, and when I say try to feel bad, and they go, they stop smiling, they stop breathing, they stop looking up because they're obeying my request, basically. And so those 3 things, it's if you're doing them, it's really hard to feel bad, and you'd have to stop them. Okay, and it's a good convincer. Okay. And that's written in Japanese as well for the Japanese people. We won't go through that. Number 8, what is a happy person? This is a quote from Hugh Downs, who was a TV. Right. And basically, I read it and then just tried to put it to a tune, and that I could hold on to. So the way I sing it is, a happy person is not a person in a certain set of circumstances, but rather a person with a certain set of attitudes. And in Japanese, 特別な考え方が人を幸せにします。And I think it goes on a little bit further. Anyways, that's what's a happy person. And basically, what I'm also trying to tell teachers or parents is that you can make a songlet out of any one line that you want to make. You can borrow somebody's quote. You can, anything that you want to communicate with your children is possible, okay? But it's also nice to make it into a call and response. And in a class, I can ask students every 5 or 10 minutes, ask your partner, how are you? Oh, can you guys ask each other, how are you? How are you?
How are you?
How am I?
Super happy. Number 5. Super happy.
Optimistic, joyful, and
fantastic.
and prodigious.
So that gives me a time to have a little cup of coffee. So I can take a pause. That's right. You guys are in the morning. I'm at 10 o'clock at night here. I should be drinking a beer. Okay. Happy person. The next one is an old camp song that you might be familiar with, but it's, for me, the answer to how do you have a good life? Make new friends and keep the old. One is silver and the other's gold. You can do it in rounds. I don't know if we can do it in rounds on the internet. Let's try right now. You start one line after me, okay? And then we try and keep on going. And maybe first sing it with me once, okay? To get the tune again. You ready? Make new friends and keep the old. One is silver and the other's gold. Make new friends and keep the old. One is silver and the other's gold. Make new friends and keep the old. One is silver and the other's gold.
I'm going after this.
Yay! Yes, you two can do it together perfectly. Great, great. And how do you succeed? No, that's how do you have a good life? Yes, and making new friends. My Japanese students often don't understand one is silver and the other's gold, and I say that they're both just valuable things. That one is not better than the other, the new friends or the old friends, and I just have to explain that to them a little bit. It's really nice though. Number 10 is what's more beautiful than a bird sitting in a tree? And it goes like this. A turtle trying to fly is more beautiful than a bird sitting in a tree.
Yeah, they know that song. It's an original tune, right?
One more
Yeah.
time. It's an original tune.
Okay.
But you start off low. I teach them with the hand, with my hand down here. I say, a turtle trying to fly is more beautiful than a bird sitting in a tree. And it's a very, very simple song. I tell them that that my grandmother used to actually sing this to me. And the idea being that trying to do something that is almost impossible for you is very courageous, but this is what we need to do. But if you have great abilities and you're not even using it, you're just sitting around like a bird that's sitting in a tree, it's not so impressive, okay? But really, really trying is important there, okay? In Japanese, we sing it also, 気に留まってる鳥より飛べ落としてる亀の方が美しい. Okay.
Great.
All right. Number 11. What should we notice? This is from E.T. Hall in the book Beyond Culture. And it's just a line that he wrote in his book, that we are not nearly enough in awe of ourselves. We need to be really, wow, I can do this or I can do that. And we're not nearly enough in awe of ourselves. And I sing this in a strange kind of way to try and get them to use the word awe. We are not nearly enough in awe of ourselves. 自分たちの Subarashi sa ni kizuki beki. You can just sing the English and that'll be fine. Okay. I like taking quotes that I love and putting them to words because it helps me to remember them very easily. And John David Thoreau once wrote, we're rich in proportion to the number of things we can do without. Okay, and in these days and times, it's nice to really bring that home to students that we don't need so much of all the other stuff so much. We're rich in proportion to the number of things we can actually do without. And the tune is, we're rich in proportion to the number of things we can do without. Hito wa nakute koto tareru mono ga oi hodo yutaka de aru. You can just sing the English. You don't have to sing the Japanese.
Like a sea shanty.
We're rich in proportion to the number of things we can do without. Yeah. Okay. The number 13 on your list there, I think it's the last one, is that this is from the book from Munch, Love You Forever. Do you know this book? It's right here. And it's a wonderful children's book, and especially during these times, it's probably nice to read it to your students. They sing a song about every 3 or 4 pages, and the song is written there on the handout. I'll love you forever, I'll like you for always, as long as I'm living, my baby you'll be. Now this is a mother rocking her small baby and then her small child, and then the child gets bigger.
And then he becomes and then he holds the mother.
Exactly.
I
Yeah,
read
you
that
love
book.
the book. Yeah, it's a wonderful one.
It's a wonderful book.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah,
Highly
I know
recommend.
that book very well.
Yeah, great, great.
It's a very touching book.
It is, it is, it is. It's a wonderful, wonderful story. If I can play you one more video, and then we will, let's see, get this out of here. Okay, this is a video, this is a song that's not on the list that I need to put on the list. It's the call, the question is, what do you like? What do you like? And I ask my students to ask each other, what do you like? And it's supposed to cue them into giving compliments. And the compliment in this song is, I like your shirt, I like your pants, I like your shoes and
We
socks.
watched that video.
And then the
with you.
bed at the end.
Yeah,
It was
So
great.
sing it.
Sing it.
Let me go ahead and just play the video real quick. It's in the middle of a video at the University of Hawaii, but I think I've got it right here. Let me see if I can make
Yeah,
it.
we watched it. We watched the whole thing.
Oh, yeah.
You got it?
Yeah.
I like your shoes and socks. I like the way you do your hair. You look just like a bear. Again, everybody, point to your shirt. I like your shirt. I like your pants. I like your shoes and socks. I like the way you do your hair. You look just like a bear. Okay, turn to somebody beside you. Partners, okay, everybody sing. Sing with me, okay, ready? I like your shirt. I like your pants. I like your shoes and socks. I like the way you do your hair. You look just like a bear.
Okay. Okay. Could you somebody beside you? Okay. How do I get back to this thing?
Yeah, the button on top for you, I guess.
Yeah, you go. Stop share. Yeah, thank you. There it is. Okay. Great. I think that about does it. There's one last song that I could show you that's also by some university students. It's called Young and Strong and Beautiful. And the question is, are you young? Okay. Could I play that for you? Yes?
Yeah.
Okay, here it is. I'll try and make it as big and share it. Blah, blah, blah. I need to do screen share and then this. Okay. And hello. You have to come forward. How come it's not there? Oh, okay, I got it. Do we have it?
No, we don't. Now we have. Now we do.
Okay. Young and Strong and Beautiful, I think.
We're gonna teach you a song that with some English sign languages. The title of the song is "Are You Young?" song. So ready? We gotta start it. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm young and strong and beautiful. I'm living an adventure. The world's so fascinating. It makes me wanna cry. I wanna cry to the world. I wanna fly all around. I wanna tell everybody I'm in love. 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 I wanna tell everybody I'm in love.
Okay, stop share. There we go. Okay, I think that about does it.